Well, it's been a while, and there's been some shit happen down here in Australia since you've been away, or since we've been away. I've got me, if you're wondering where I've been looking after me mum, running up and down the road and all sorts of crazy shit going on. And would you believe, while all that, I just took my blooming eye off the ball for 5 minutes and the jolly Varroa Mite turned up. Golly gosh, and of course we had to get the good one. We got the deCaux down here in Australia, which if you know anything about the Varroa Mites, apparently that's the worst one to get. Down here in South Australia we haven't got the little sucker yet, but what it does mean is the queens are going to be a bit harder to find. So I'm thinking I better ramp up my queen breeding enthusiasm, because I mean they're going to be hard to get moving bees around the countryside for a little while. So I was fozzing through the shed and I found this little Lego kit, as John called it, which I thought was pretty appropriate. It does look like a bit of Lego. And these are some little queen cups. I wonder if I go and get the box and I can show you the box, because that'll make sense. Hang on, wait there. I don't even think I can say it anyway. It's called the Unstickervergunja. How would you pronounce that? It's Unstickervergunja. I think my poor blooming nana would be mortified after she tried to teach me German when I was young. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, what is that? Unstuckvonhaarjunta. Anyway, what I can read is that there's actually won 3 gold medals, so it must be good. Must be some cool Lego. They even managed to put English in the directions, which was good. That helped me out a little bit. But I'm still a little confused, so hell, why would it have been anything new? Let's do something for the first time ever on YouTube and see whether we can make a go of it. What was that? Might be good, might be shit. So my rough plan at this moment is I'm thinking I'm going to put this in the bee box that I want it to be in for the queen to lay her eggs in, these funny little Lego cups. I'm thinking if I know anything about bees and plastic, they're not the best of friends. So I'm going to put this little pot in the beehive and let the bees, would it be called beeify it? No, they do, maybe not. Apparently it's meant to have some stuff on here that makes it happy for bees, but this stuff's been in my shed for a couple of years, so anything's possible. I figure I'm going to cut a little hole in my bee frame here. I'm going to hook this to the wires, and then we're going to stick it in the bee box, and then we'll come back in a couple of days and when it's been beeified. I wonder if that's a word, but I'm going to make it a word now. Feel free to grab that and use it if you want. John just asked a very interesting question, and he said, how come I've only got a few in the middle? Because if you fill this whole little box up, you can do 110 queens at a time, and I haven't got I haven't got enough hives that I want to be rearing that many queens. So I was like, I think I'll just do 30, and well, if I screw up 30, that won't be so big a dramatic thing, will it? But if I make a marvellous go of it, well, hell, we might do 100 next time. Well, I don't know whether I haven't really read the directions on this bit, but I think I'm going to cut the wax out the way, and I'm going to cut the wire and hook the wires around these little legs and dangle it in the box and see what happens. That's my plan anyway. Mr. Unstuck, but I would probably think I'm doing it all wrong. This is probably not what's meant to happen, but there we go, across there. I don't know whether this is a good idea or not, but anyway, we'll see. No awards. Oh, just so as you all know, this is not necessarily a tutorial video. I'm learning as much as the rest of you at the minute. And if this doesn't work, I'm in trouble because I only bought 1 frame. So talk about living dangerously. There's probably a special jolly cage holder, I'll bet you, isn't there?
You're too cheap to buy it?
Probably. I don't know. To be absolutely honest, I can't remember because it's so long ago that I bought this. Oh, golly. Well, this is a challenge, I can tell you that for free. I feel a little bit like I was watching this show about training soldiers the other night. And they were going through all the training course, and I feel a little bit like those blokes at the moment as far as getting trained. I can read all the literature and get all the information and think I know what's going on, but I really don't. And so I'm thinking, since we have a bit of exposure and you guys that are watching this have already done this before, it'd be awesome if you could send me some, I don't know, some of your insight and all the crazy shit that you've been through with these little buggers. because I really don't know what's going to be befalling us with this journey. And I'm tipping there's no way to know until you've been involved. So, and most of the rest of the world's already done this. So, hell, what a golden opportunity to share your wisdom. The guys back in the technical department who are just yelling out, don't forget to tell them they've got to put it in the comments. You already know you've got to put it in the comments. But anyway, now I've said it, they can all just chill out down there in the Jolly Studios headquarters. Don't get off subject. That's a disaster, isn't it? It looks like a beshebbled.
Great workmanship there, Dan.
Looks a little bit like a Scottish sporran, doesn't it? Like when he's jogging through the fields ready to attack the English folk. As the Scots were raging over the hill to slaughter a couple of Englishmen with their little sporrans dancing in front of their kilts. And John was just wondering what a sporran is. And I'm hoping I've called it the right thing. It's the little purse that dangles out the front with all the cool little fluffy bits on it. Because I'm thinking if you're wearing a kilt, you ain't got no pockets. That's why your chicks have always got handbags, but this was a cool idea because you could bloomin' whack people with your sword and keep your bloomin' strepsils in your purse. There's a nice little kangaroo in the almond trees, about the right size for a feed. Maybe I'll do that. The things that go on here in the bush bee man's yard. I guess it's about time to get my bee suit on. Talking about bee suits, the lovely folks from Hornsby Beekeepers have let me have a suit, which is pretty cool. Give them a shout out. We ran into them at the field day in where were we? Sydney? Melbourne? Sydney. Yeah, we ran into them at the bee conference in Sydney. And they probably think I've forgotten them, but I've been so jolly complicated and I haven't got it dirty, boy. So I thought I'd give you a look. It's straight out the packet and it's still clean. It's amazing. No guarantees that it's going to stay clean for long. It's so white, John's going to have to put the bloody diffuser on the camera. I like the fact it's got cool metal zips. They're pretty cool. I'll let you know after I've worn it for a little bit. But it seems pretty cool. It's nice and it's got the nice vented stuff, which I like. Hasn't got big rips in it yet, which is my other suits have. Apologies in advance, Mr. Hornsby, when I tear it up. It's got the whole leg length. I like that because that's always awkward when it's only got the little zip to here. That's a pain in the bum. You have to take your boots off. And that's never fun when you're covered in bees. Or trying to get uncovered with bees. Blinded by the light. Oh, got to get my leg in there. Oh, come on, you can do it, Duffy Moon. I'm going to lean on the ute. Otherwise I'll fall over. Oh, the other night I bloody nearly fell off the truck step. I was trying to get in the truck and my boots were wet and whee! That wasn't very funny. Slipping in.
Still got the label on the hat.
Is it going to wreck something if I pull it off? Hey, hell, everybody's an expert. Except for me, of course. Okay. Hop. I might keep that or make a good bookmark. We only got to annoy one bee box, but I think we'll light our smoker anyway. Because I tell everybody that you should light your smoker if you're going in your beehive, so we will. That's if it's in the back of this ute. Don't look too close. It's a bit like everything else in my life. My ute's not real tidy. Okay, Mr. Smoke Bucket. Oh. Right. Oh. Can't get that open. Remind me to wash that, you know. Hello. Did you bring a lighter? Yeah. I better buy some more for this season. It's getting a bit light on for gas. It's supposed to be a refillable one anyway, which always is fun. Oh God, don't tell me it's fucked. No. What? No! It's the end of the lighter as we know it. Far out. I don't think that's very fair, John. It was working when I put it in there. Whenever that was. I wonder if your mother's got a lighter. Ha 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 ha. Bloody hell. We're getting old school. I wonder if they'll even work. Don't try this at home, boys and girls. Not easy. Better not get too excited. Still might go out on me, but it looks pretty good. Blossom's done again for another year. So all the almond trees, all the bees are getting moved out of the almond trees down here in Oz. There's been bee trucks everywhere here at Loxton, or in the Riverland in general, for the last few weeks. My gosh, all them thousands of hives getting brought in and thousands of hives getting taken out. And then even me there running around with my funny little truck. I haven't managed to get a forklift yet. I've still got my little crane, but then I felt reasonably happy the fact that there's still men running around with trailers. So, you know, there's room for everybody in this beekeeping gig, isn't there? Marked out some of these hives with a stick because they were the ones that had a nice big nest over winter. Being in the grand scheme of things, I'm rearing bees to pollinate my almond trees, and hopefully you want a nice big brood nest coming out of winter into the spring and summer, so your honey should be better. Anyway, that's what I've marked up here. I've got very high tech. I found a bit of old almond stick and sat it on the boxes that I thought we'd use. So, God, you can't get much more technical than that. Give them a little bit of smoky smoke. I hope you're a relaxed bunch of girls. Otherwise, that would be a problem, won't it? Right, here we go. I think the girls have figured out I'm here now. They're starting to get excited. Not that my smoke's going the best, but anyway. Yes, it's all right, ladies. I know. It's okay. We're only here to help. That's the theory we're working on anyway. It's amazing how warm they are. It's incredible. How they can generate so much heat with all their little bums wobbling, it amazes me. Just double checking that we haven't got any badnesses in there. I'm just trying to make a gap so we can put our queen breeding cage in our hive so that we can get that a bit bee friendly-fied. And I'm also just double checking that I haven't picked a hive that's got any diseases, because of course that would be a bit of a defeating of the purpose, wouldn't it? And just having a look at what sort of brood pattern she's got, because she's done pretty well over winter. Just sort of thought I'd just have a look and see how she's coming up for spring. She's got a few boys, a couple of drones coming up. Be good for mating season soon. Got a nice pattern there. So I reckon if we make a little hole here and we pop our frame down here, and then we can get it a bit bee friendly. Hopefully we can fit it in like that. Rightio, there we go. That's all I wanted to do. I suppose after you've used this for a while, you want to actually put some sort of colour coding on the top of it so you know where you are. There we go. I'll take one of these out and put that brood up the top here because we don't lose all those little babies. They're bringing in a bit of nectar here from somewhere. Well, there's another problem you've got, John. Got honey to spare. We'll pop that up there and then they can raise those little ladies. Golly gosh. That should let the bees work on that a little bit and make it smell a bit nicer, so when we put the queen in there, she doesn't freak out so much. Saturday, or tomorrow, or whatever it is. I think it's going to be Saturday, which is a day away. We'll see if we can catch the queen. Will I? I'll come back tomorrow and go, which box was I in? Oi, oi, oi. Well, now for the fun part. We got to see if we can find the queen. Like the other day, that was beautifully simple, isn't it? Always the way you can find the boss woman when you don't necessarily need her, but anyway, just as well, if all else fails, we'll just have to play the music while I look for her. Well, here we go. We've let our little queen cage get a bit ripened up. This is another day and a bit on. So now for the fun job, to see if we can catch the Royal Highness herself. Pop her in our little cage and we'll make some queen cells, hopefully. Right, pop them over there. Have a look and see what we can see in the middle of the deep blue sea. Or something like that, wasn't that how that song went? See all the little ladies have got through the little doorways and in there warming it all up. Oh, there's a hole at the back, you funny fella. Oh, well, there you go. But look at that though, they've already starting to build out their wax, so they're obviously needing to get some more room, which is pretty cool. Now we'll just zip this in our pot for a minute. Now, for the fun part, we'll see if we can find the boss woman. Oh, where would you be, boss woman? All else fails, we'll shake her into the box. Just thinking, I was just hoping that she might have somehow or other miraculously run in the box all by herself, but I don't think she has. Oh, bloody award-winning prizes, I'll tell you what.
I don't think the product was guaranteeing they could find the queen for you.
True.
I don't think that's what the awards were for.
That's probably a fair point. Man. Shit. Now what are we going to do? Good gracious me. Oh, about time. Oh, you poor little thing. I'll just pop her in there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. If we can. Where's my little door? And pop her in. Then you got to put the door on. And I don't think you're meant to have it quite so full of bees. I think you're meant to do that a little bit quicker. And she's got to stay in there for a day. Goodness gracious, ladies, you're getting excited. Oh, and then we should have, in 3 days' time, we should have some nice little hatched larvae that we can take out and put in our jolly cell building hive, which we're going to show you how to do next. And there you have, we'll have 20 or 30 new queen cells ready to rock and roll, doing our part to keep the bee industry alive and fervent. I know it's fervent a word, but anyway, keeping our bee business alive, because look, I don't know how we're going to get queens if we can't take stuff across the state lines. It's going to get very interesting. Anyway, nothing like the present moment to learn how to be a queen breeder on my own farm. So we'll just shake all these girls down to the bottom of my pot, and then I'll chip them back in the hive, and then I reckon it must be home time. Perhaps time for a cup of tea, I reckon. If you're enjoying this journey of madness of beekeeping along with the Bush Bee Man, don't forget to like, click, subscribe. Hell, even if you send us $1 as a Patreon supporter, that'll go a long way. Give us a crack, give us a shout out.